The man on the bench changed everything. I was having one of those weeks where nothing makes sense. Rent was late. Job was on thin ice. I hadn't called my mom into long. Everything felt like it was slipping fast. I took a long walk, mostly to avoid being in my apartment. I ended up in this quiet park. Dead leaves. Bare trees. No one was around. Except him. An older man sitting alone on a bench, coat zipped up to his chin, eyes scanning the pond like it owed him something. I didn't plan to sit, but something about his stillness felt heavy in a familiar way. I sat down on the opposite end. We didn't talk, just stared at the water. A few minutes passed. Then he said, "You look like you've lost something." I blinked. Everything, I muttered. He nodded like he understood exactly what I meant, and then he started talking. He told me he used to come to that park with his son every Sunday, feeding ducks, making up stories. Then his son moved out. They drifted. Life got loud. Calls slowed down one day. His son didn't answer, and that silence grew into years. Regret, he said, is the heaviest thing a man can carry. Then he looked at me and said something I haven't been able to forget. Don't confuse being lost with being done. It hit deeper than I expected. He stood up slowly, joints stiff, gave me a soft nod and walked off. Didn't ask for my name, didn't offer his, just left. I never saw him again. But I walked home that day different. Not healed, not fixed, just reminded that even in the middle of the mess, there's still movement. Still a next step. Sometimes the people who leave the biggest mark on you are the ones who barely stay long enough to know it. If this story found you on a hard day, hit like, share it with someone who needs stillness, and subscribe. You never know whose story will remind you to keep going.